Hey everyone! Today, we're traveling back in time to the Victorian era, specifically the Crinoline Period, which lasted from the 1850s to the 1860s. It was a time of big changes in technology, fashion, and society. Think of it like a giant puzzle, with each piece representing a different aspect of life back then. Let's explore this time of huge skirts, fancy designs, and new inventions. Can you imagine a world without sewing machines? It's hard to believe, but there was a time when every single piece of clothing was meticulously crafted by hand. Back then, clothes were made by hand, stitch by stitch. It took ages. Each garment was a labor of love, requiring immense skill and patience. But in the middle of the 1800s, sewing machines came along and changed everything. These machines revolutionized the textile industry, making it possible to produce clothing on a much larger scale. Clothes could be made much faster and cheaper, so more people could afford them. This democratization of fashion meant that stylish clothing was no longer just for the wealthy. This time also saw new fabrics like crinolines, which made skirts much bigger. These voluminous skirts became a hallmark of Victorian fashion, symbolizing the era's opulence. Plus, new dyes meant brighter and more colorful clothes. The introduction of synthetic dyes allowed for a wider range of vibrant colors, transforming the fashion landscape. But these changes weren't all good. The rapid industrialization brought about significant environmental and social challenges. Making more clothes also meant more pollution, a problem we still face today. The environmental impact of mass production is a legacy that continues to affect us, reminding us of the need for sustainable practices. The most famous thing about this time was the crinoline, a revolutionary garment that changed the way women dressed and moved. Instead of wearing tons of petticoats, women wore a cage-like structure made of horsehair or even metal hoops under their skirts. This innovation allowed for a dramatic expansion of the skirt's volume without the weight. This made the skirts super full and flowy, but also lightweight, so women could move around more easily. The crinoline gave women a newfound freedom of movement, which was quite a change from the restrictive fashions of earlier periods. These skirts were often decorated with beautiful details, making them look like works of art. Intricate lace, embroidery, and ribbons adorned the fabric, showcasing the craftsmanship of the era. But crinolines could be a bit tricky. Navigating through doorways and sitting down required a certain level of skill and practice. They were hard to manage in small spaces and could easily get caught in the wind, leading to some funny and embarrassing moments. Imagine trying to keep your balance as your skirt catches a gust of wind. Imagine your skirt flying up like a balloon in a strong breeze. Despite these challenges, the crinoline remained a beloved fashion staple, symbolizing both elegance and the spirit of innovation. Section 4. Fashion's new landscape, accessibility and innovation. Remember the sewing machine? It didn't just make clothes faster, it made fashion accessible to everyone. Now, you didn't have to be rich to dress well. This created jobs for dressmakers and tailors, making the fashion world even more exciting. But there was a downside too. While machine-made lace and ribbons were cheaper, some worried that traditional craftsmanship was being lost. Skilled artisans who used to make these things by hand had to adapt to these new changes. Section 5. Crinolines and Culture Shaping Society's Fabric. The Crinoline Period wasn't just about clothes, it was about bigger changes in society. The crinoline, a stiffened or hooped petticoat, became a symbol of the era, reflecting the social dynamics and cultural shifts of the time. The big full skirts represented femininity and made the differences between men and women more obvious. These voluminous skirts were not just fashion statements, they were declarations of identity and societal roles. This influenced how people behaved and what was expected of them. Social gatherings and public interactions were shaped by these fashion choices, dictating the etiquette and norms of the time. Interestingly, because fashionable clothes were more affordable, women from different social classes started dressing more alike. This democratization of fashion allowed for a unique blending of social boundaries. This blurred the lines between rich and poor, at least when it came to fashion. The accessibility of stylish clothing meant that appearances could be deceiving, as outward looks no longer strictly indicated one's social standing. The Crinoline Period, with its amazing inventions and changing styles, became a symbol of modernity and progress. Innovations in textile manufacturing and design reflected the era's spirit of advancement and creativity. We still see its influence today. Modern fashion often draws inspiration from the past, and the Victorian era's impact is evident in contemporary designs. So the next time you see a full skirt or some beautiful lace, remember the Crinoline Period and its lasting impact on the world. Its legacy continues to shape our fashion and cultural landscape, reminding us of a time when clothing was more than just fabric. It was a statement of society's fabric. Absolutely don't forget to like and subscribe for supporting us. Your support keeps us going. Until next time.